Yeah. So Sydney, tell us, your involvement from the ground up. Going back to that statement, were you involved in this list? I feel like you probably wrote half of it.
Yeah. So I would be, not being a totally truthful if I didn't say that there was a little bit of selfishness in this. I obviously have had my own detail shop for 10 years and I work out of my garage and I live in an HOA and I try to be very conscious of that. I try to be very conscious of, the environment, not putting anything in. So for about 9.5 years, I've been like 99% rinseless. So, obviously, I'm a huge lover of PNS products and I, adore all of them. They're all my favorite. Right. And so I've, since the beginning, have really wanted a rinseless wash. And so, about 2 years ago, I started kind of, I kept kind of putting the bug in Dave's ear. And, there's times when we all meet as a team and we start talking about like what's next. And there was always me in the back, like, let's do a rinseless wash.
Yeah.
I really want. But I knew that it would be just like fire, right? I knew that it would be a game changer. I knew Dave was the man to get it done. And, there's a lot of really good rinseless washes on the market. But I just knew that, Dave and the team at PNS could just level up. And, those washes are still great, but I wanted something that was, not just even as good. And I told that to Dave, like, I want it to be better than the best. So it was a tall order and I wanted it to do absolutely everything. And so it just kind of started there. We just started with the list, started with all my favorite aspects of different products on the market. And, then we just, right out the gate, he created a pretty incredible product. But then we just kept tweaking it and making it better and better and better. And, checking those boxes off and,
then bringing in the rag company, right? Getting their opinion on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we got a lot of opinions, we used it in every form and fashion we could. We left it in steamers with them on for hours and days. And we put it through every test we could think of.
Sure.
And, Dave nailed it. It's literally absolutely amazing. And I know probably everybody's getting tired of the absolute word, but getting started. So
Sydney's being modest because really, Dave did. The side, we couldn't do without Dave, but we honestly we would not have done it without Sydney's drive. Wouldn't have happened. Sydney was the biggest, and it's selfishly, it was pride. It was pride. And this thing should have said absolutely special Sydney serum or something. She pushed it. We would take the test and Dave, he did. He nailed it the first time, right?
Yeah, he did. It was incredible the first time. And I think what's so cool about this, honestly, is that before we started this process, Dave had never really used a rinseless wash. So
that's what Anthony was telling us as well.
Yeah.
That's
so
for me,
that put Dave in a whole different light for me. Like, we gave him a list and said, this is what we need. And he literally made it without really the expectations for himself on what he was even looking for. He made it and left it to us to say, yes, this works, or no, it doesn't. Cause he really didn't have any background or basis on what we were looking for. He was just literally working off our list and he absolutely nailed it. Like, so good. So good.
10 months ago, I was at the headquarters.
Yeah.
Dave pulls out, I think, the second or third generation.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, let's go out in the parking lot. And we lit direct sun on, I think it was Bob's black Audi it was Bob's black Audi. Kind of nasty. Sorry, Bob, it had been raining. And we went to work for it. And I was like, okay, what'd you change? He goes, I don't want to say anything. Just use it and just tell me what you think. And I was like, Dave, this is like unbelievable. It was just like silk, in your hands. It was so smooth and it worked so good. And I was just, that was only our second or third little, and it was a tweak.
Yeah.
It was like, wow.
Yeah. And I remember the first one even, I washed the car. I did, my normal, what I do every day. And I remember turning around and going, that looks different.
Yep.
Like it was just that, like something's different. And it's just,
and this is a cool observation. God, I love this. We can go on and on. Tell us. Shut up.
Yeah.
So Sydney's in the trenches, right? I used to be in the trench. I'm not. So for all intents and purposes, I'm an enthusiast. I mean, I train professionals, but my professional detailing now is for me. So a lot of people are going to relate to this. And so I'm kind of snooty, you know, when it comes to products. You know, I can kind of be a little bit of a snob when it comes to my products. So for Dave and Sydney just to nail that, I didn't expect it. Honestly, I just, I mean, I thought, okay, you know, oh God, we're going to test this. It's going to be 3 years of testing. And I was like, oh my God, you know, it was that shocking. So for me to come out like every day, like I said, I'm aging stuff, you know, I'm playing around with it. But I mean, I'm big into waterless. I'm lazy when it comes down to it. I don't want to get a pressure washer out unless I have to.
Yeah, that's the bit.
Side right now. See it. Yeah. It's raining right now, and I made my wife take her car because I'm not going to wash that thing.
Yeah.
So it does need a little bit of wash, and guess what?
Yeah, absolutely.